Good morning, everybody. David Atkins, Stalking Individual. I'm back with another video by the grace of God. Um, I've been getting hit hard lately, and so is Holly. They make her legs jump uncontrollably. We've been very nauseated, sick, heated up, shocks to the brain, vibrations. And somebody said, do detox, vibration. I've done all kinds of detox. Matter of fact, I wanted to show this. This is pretty good. It's called Zeolite. And it's supposed to be good for heavy metals and stuff. I have noticed a little difference since I started taking it, and I've been taking it about a week. So today I'm going to talk about some deep stuff and the real reason for organized stalking and how it works. Okay, the real operation. But I'm not going to go into tactics or nothing. Well, I'm going to cover some deep stuff with organized stalking because I feel like it's important to go over this again. And also, I got this comment the other day. It said, from my experience, I came across this information is that V2K gang stalkers are selling a life experience of target individuals. This means your own body's being sold to someone else. A person from distance can feel everything you have in your life. Just by wearing an EEG cap, so many people can buy your life experience, and gang stalkers speaking with you 24/7 just to keep the connection secure. You have no clue you're being sold at the data market. In the dark market, everything you do is spend time with friends, eat tasty food, have sex. All these broadcast to gang stalkers server, and they sell those life experiences to whomever's interested. Okay, so, and then it says, please do some research and make videos about life experience selling of target individuals. Well, I can't find nothing about no life experience. So if anybody knows anything about this or anything, please send me some information. Get in touch with me. Also, like I said, we've been getting hit hard here. My attacks are mostly internal, and Holly's attacks are external. She gets burns and stuff like that, and we got plenty of pictures of burns and stuff. And and then I don't get much. I get stalked by people pulling in the driveway and all that stuff because I don't never leave the house. She gets stalked on the way to work, license plates and all that. So we've been getting it hard lately. You know, people don't just pull in your driveway 5 or 6 times a day and all that, and just crazy stuff. Or come knock on the door and then jiggle the door handle like they're trying to get in, and then sit there for a minute and then jiggle the door handle again and then leave a business card. I mean, who jiggles the door handle like they're trying to open the door and then leaves a business card? And it's got to be a fake business card. Oh, so anyway, here we go. Yeah, anybody's got anything or anybody that's took Zeolite, that's got an experience to share, let me know. Anybody that wants to hear certain topics and videos, let me know. Like if you want to hear a video about forced speech, let me know. Or if you got a video, any kind of video you want to hear about, just let me know, and I'll research it and see what I can do. I still haven't forgot about the Alice in Wonderland. That's artificial linguistic programming. But I will talk about that in a later video. I'm going to put that together. Okay, organized stalking designed to create a synaptic response with brain waves of physical and psychological trauma in targeted individuals to remotely tie sheepish masses to the human grid of remote neural networks for human control. Organized stalking is based on various models of deception and manipulation, such as the mathematical model known as hypergame theory. With hypergame theory, the last response of the victim becomes the pattern for the next wave of torture and harassment. They need patterns of responses and response statistics, so they must engage in patterns of same and similar provocations in order to generate the same or similar patterns of responses from the victim, as one response is not enough. By engaging in tactics which range from the plausible to the absurd, they discredit the victim by engaging in trivial, paltry, fanciful, fantastic tactics at regular intervals, so that when the victim tries to document or complain about the trivial, paltry, fantastic tactics to the authorities, then the victim's complaints sound by default fanciful and fantastic. So the victim's discredited and made to appear delusional, etc. This is why their tactics range from plausible to the absurd. to discredit the victim and portray the victim as schizophrenic, so while simultaneously accomplishing their objective of forcing the trauma-based mind control victim into patterns of perpetual forced adjustments. So constantly capturing the attention of the mind control victim and provoking him or her into the emotional responses which can be remotely measured and integrated back into remote neural monitoring data. So the organized stalking must be aggressive and severe at regular intervals to keep the victim sensitized to the fact that it's happening. Once the victim becomes sensitized to the fact that it's happening, the organized stalking can be achieved more subtly with the same desired effect. The remote neural monitoring system of remote neural networks uses timing and location to lock on to a target and uses a stream of photons to illuminate the brain of the victim. It then reads the return training signal using emotional responses of physical and psychological trauma. They're always the stalking is important for remote neural networks to work. They need statistics, they need responses. And if every time you respond, that's why I tell people don't respond to this organized stalking. Easier said than done. I know. I find myself responding all the time, and especially when they're doing the stuff in front of my house, I respond. I don't, and I try not to. And there's sometimes I don't. I'll notice it and just ignore it. But they need the responses because they're trying to complete. They want a cognitive model of your brain. They're trying to map out your brain. They want a cognitive model that only gets complete by responses. You see what I'm saying? Okay, the fact that the victim is forced to stop and try to document that it's happening means that the CIA hive mind teams using surveillance teams and organized stalkings have achieved their objective of forcing the victim in perpetual forced adjustments. Each forced adjustment is a synaptic response which can be remotely measured and integrated back into R&M data. Trauma-based mind control is based on the responses of the victim, as each response is an evoked potential which can be remotely measured and integrated back into R&M data. The victim is forced to perpetually respond in order to function and survive. Without organized stalking, there's no way a real-world environment they can measure and gauge the effectiveness of their technology. It's a deadly game of deception and manipulation, nothing more. They use organized stalking to create memory anchors, which they then use in verification routine each day by injecting memory anchor back into the subconscious of the victim at regular intervals in a looping pattern to probe the victim for of a set of responses in order to determine the coherent patterns of thought. Organized stalking is based on one thing: choice reference patterns. The hive mind team, surveillance team, stalkers are using a pattern of your previous choices to stalk you. So, in order to understand organized stalking, you must go back and look at the pattern of your previous choices, such as favorite cafes, restaurants, bars, stores, modes of travel, etc. The stalkers are positioned at specific vantage and reference points based on your previous choices of these locations. After you understand that organized stalking is based on choice reference patterns, you must understand that organized stalking is comprised of two things: situational scenarios and conversational scenarios. Those situational scenarios and conversational scenarios will always be based on events or topics that they know will capture your attention and provoke you into emotional responses. So they know that if they get together behind you and start whispering and laughing and stuff, and maybe mention your name, if they know that's going to get a good response out of you, they'll do it. Or if they know that they can set a street theater, get up outside your house and keep pulling in your driveway, getting something out the back seat, sitting there for a minute, at 4 in the morning, 2 in the morning, pulling in your driveway, doing stuff, and that gets you very upset, or they get a certain response. They're trying to log that response. It's all based on remote neural monitor data. Even stalking is. Stalking gets the response for the remote neural monitor data to hook you up to create a cognitive model of your brain. Once they see that you respond to, they will fabricate situational scenarios or conversational scenarios, street theater, based on events or topics that they know will capture your attention. If they cannot capture your attention situationally or conversationally, then they will do so physically, but they must capture the attention of the victim at regular intervals or the technology fails. Each new provocation will proceed and come after each verification routine. For instance, you get on one of them, I'm going to finish this real, and then I'm going to talk about something. Physically, but must capture attention of the victim. Organized stalking is used for many reasons, but primarily to discredit the mind control victim and provoke the victim into emotional responses, which can be remotely measured and integrated back into remote neuromonitoring data as they continue to build a cognitive model. Okay, so what I was going to say is, man, they took it out of my head. Hate when they do that. These calls, these conference calls. I don't know how it is, but I used to get on TalkShoe all the time, and you'd always have somebody come in there and interrupt with making cow sounds or cow noises or barking like a dog real loud or just making real noise or gaslight somebody real quick and or start a bunch of stuff in the group on the talk shoe call and have everybody in upheaval. They got the reaction. They got the emotional responses. Try not to respond to the BS they throw at you. So anyway, I hope this video helps somebody, and please start suggesting some videos because I can only do so much, and I'm trying to come up with different topics that I haven't covered. And if you go way back to my first videos, I'm gonna have to cover them again because I only got 100 views on them. So I've got plenty more stuff coming up though. But yeah, do not respond. Try not to respond. Easier said than done, but try your best not to respond because that's what they're looking for. You get on a call and there's a bunch of upheaval or drama, hang the phone up, get off the call. Don't stay on there and respond with them people or nothing like that. And I'm not putting down conference calls, but there are a lot of perps on the conference calls that come in and try and because what you don't want them to eventually get a full cognitive model of your brain, and they're trying to perfect the cognitive model by forcing you into responses. So anyway, God bless. I hope this video helps. And please, any suggestions for videos, let me know. God bless every TI out there.